Have you ever wanted to start something new, but shut down the thought immediately because you thought it would take too long, or it would be too hard, or you thought you might fail? There's nothing more crippling to your success than your own closed-mindedness. In this video, I'm going to go over some tactics for how to get out of your own way and how to overcome the three main objections to starting something new. Many people will ignore their dreams out of what they might deem as practicality. They go throughout their day-to-day life fantasizing about what it would be like if they got that new job, started a new business, asked that girl out on a date, and so on, only to snap back to reality and decide that this change would be impossible. And so they stick with what they know, the comfortable mediocrity. If you ask me, this is a damn shame. If you were to zoom out and look at your day-to-day life and take a good hard look at that bigger picture, you might realize that you actually have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Here you are existing on this big spherical rock spinning through space, and if you're lucky, you might live into your early 80s, of which will be of diminishing quality of living. Now, putting aside any religious beliefs you might have, we only know for sure that we have this one life, this one chance to live, this one kick of the can. So keeping that in mind, wouldn't you want to maximize this precious time that you have to experience the entire gambit of experiences and live out your highest potential, not settling for the safe but comfortable and boring existence? If you're feeling like you're stuck in your current situation, I urge you to take the risk to try something new and bold, something audacious and ambitious that will light you up and stoke the fire within, something that scares but excites you and forces you to grow and learn and adapt. If you're feeling stuck, I want you to know that you're not alone. Many people, in fact, I would say most people, fall into this trap of settling for less than their true potential. I made this video not just for you, but also as a reminder to myself. I've never been one to settle for an average or mediocre life, and I plan on continuing to pursue all my most ambitious goals, no matter how many people think that they're unrealistic. I've made many career changes already in my life, and I have more aspirations in which I plan to or am pursuing, this YouTube channel being one of them. However, I've certainly had those negative thoughts creep into my mind and cause me to second guess my ability to achieve my most lofty goals. And in these moments, I've always found it helpful to reframe the situation, to detach and examine the cold, hard reality.
If you take a step back, you can usually say, oh, little adjustment here, a little adjustment there, and that thing's gonna sort itself out. So detachment is a superpower.
So you think it's too late to change. Oh, let's say you're a nurse that wants to be a doctor, but you think the schooling would take too long and you don't want to be entering the profession at 40 years old. Well, that time is going to go by anyways, whether you pursue that goal or not. And now when you turn 40, you'll still be nursing and you're going to look back and think to yourself, wow, had I started all those years ago, I could have been a doctor by now, making big bucks, saving lives, and living out my dream. Oh well, it's too late now. Might as well keep working as a nurse. Well, what do you think happens when you turn 50? Do you think these thoughts just suddenly go away? One of the most important things in my life is the avoidance of future regret. I would hate to be on my deathbed as an old man thinking, I should have started that company or traveled to that country or taken that risk. There are plenty of anecdotes of people who accomplish great things late in life. KFC's Colonel Sanders opened his first KFC at age 62 and was a multi-billionaire by age 88. And his legacy still lives on and is finger-licking good.
I'm only eating the skin, so the chicken's up for grabs.
Do you think the goal is too hard? Well, all great things are. The feeling of difficulty is always most sharp in the present moment. But when looking back on my most trying times of my life, some of my best memories came from those periods of struggle. Some of my greatest strengths were forged during these times. And the grueling time put in was an investment that continues to compound and pay dividends long after the difficult deed is done. As Bruce Lee was quoted, "Don't pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." All great things are perceived as such because they were difficult to attain. If it was easy, it would not be a valuable pursuit. I urge you to find something difficult and lean into it. Are you afraid of failure? I love the quote, "What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?" The cold hard truth is you might actually fail at whatever you attempt. Then what? Are the consequences really that grave? Maybe you ask a girl out and she says no.
Emotional damage.
You're gonna be physically fine, you might be mentally rejected, but you'll survive just fine. Maybe you lose some money in an investment in a new business. Well, you're still alive and you can always make more money. And you're gonna learn from your mistakes. Maybe you go back to school to become an engineer and flunk out of your classes. Well, that's okay. You now know what you need to study, or maybe the original goal was misplaced to begin with and you didn't actually like engineering. At least you tried and can cross off what you don't want to do. There are endless scenarios that could be examined to uncover just how harmless most failures really are. You only truly fail the moment you stop trying. If you stay in your comfort zone all your life, is that not the greatest failure of all? Think of all the great people throughout history that have dared to act boldly. Do you think success was guaranteed to them before they started? Of course not, yet they still acted. The prospect of failure did not slow down Julius Caesar when crossing the Rubicon into Rome. It did not slow down Napoleon when escaping exile to take back control of France, nor did it hinder Neil Armstrong from becoming the first human to land on the moon. Also, remember, don't fall into the trap of waiting for ideal conditions. They will never come. Whatever aspirations you have, whether it's career change late in life, the desire to start a new hobby or sport, traveling to a new country, or whatever excuses you're telling yourself out of avoidance, I implore you to take the leap. We all die someday, so make your life the story that you'd want to read and maximize your existence with the precious little time that you have left. You have nothing to lose and yet everything to gain. Follow for more unsolicited advice. I'm out.